Hey guys, Tim here, Rat Daddy Studios. I'm out in the garage part of the studio, and just wanted to give you some updates and some tips on the 3D printed Ed Roth yellow Fang dragster. This is from Frankie's Hobby or Horror and Hobby shop in Canada. That's where these came from. You can buy these off of Instagram. It is a 3D print, so the tolerances are very tight, and some things are going to have to be modified to make this easier for you to get it together. So I'm going to kind of just see if I can blow this apart. And this has to be put together in a specific manner, or it just doesn't go together. And I have broken the chassis multiple times, but it goes together like a little puzzle. So the first thing I'll address is the canopy, because the canopy, and of course I just knocked the motor out. Anyway, the canopy with everything the way it comes does not fit down flush. The hoop on the roll bar is too high, too thick on the back of the canopy, so you're going to need to Dremel out that back area there. As you can see, now this is primered, and you can see where I've been grinding on this. I also narrowed down that hoop and finally got a decent fit on here, as decent as it's gonna get. It's a little thick in the front too, but no big deal. I'm sneezing from all the dust that's been flying out here. So that's one thing you're gonna need to do. These areas in here where the headers fit in, you're gonna wanna thin these inside walls out. You can see where I've been grinding on that as well. You're gonna wanna thin that out to get yourself more clearance, because it's just so tight, and the way those headers fit up in the body, it's not easy. These holes where the axles come through, the chassis goes up in here from the bottom and snaps into those holes. You're going to wangle those holes out. You're going to need to drill them out. It's just too tight, and with no tolerance at all, you just can't move anything around. So the chassis, God, sorry, I'm covered with dust. Chassis, you can see, just kind of slides out like this, and you got to be careful. The chassis, you know, anything 3D printed is brittle, so you got to use some care. I'm gonna sneeze again. Jeez, sorry. Let me get this body. So you're gonna very carefully open the body up and see if I can get it. I've only done this 25 times until I get on camera, and now I can't get it out. Oh, and I have broken the chassis. The front of it broke off earlier. I cracked it back here by the engine just a little while ago. Okay, the chassis slides out the bottom. Now, what is going on? To accomplish this a little easier, and it's not even being easy right now, you are going to want to grind out every bit of this. It is... good stuff. It's way too tight, so you're going to want to take your Dremel and grind every bit of this out. Thin out this rail as much as you can. I did not thin it out all the way to the front, because that part goes in pretty easy, and that kind of just snaps in place. But every bit of this back here, I ground all of that out all the way around the back, just to make things easier. Couple of mistakes. There's some mistakes with the body shape. It's not perfectly correct. The other thing they didn't do was allow for the parachute. Supposed to be up in this area here. It's supposed to be a chute cut out, and they didn't do it. Now it is cut out. This one anyway is cut out here. Well, I guess the other one is too. I've got the small scale one too, but I think that's where your push bar for your chassis is going to come out there. So that part's missing. But overall, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, they put a lot of work into this, and I'm pretty happy with it. Getting this engine in there is another chore, and I'm not going to put all the chassis and everything back together. But what you have is this raised bar piece here. Let's see if I can get that in the camera. That goes into a slot on the bottom of the motor. Okay, it's so tight you can't get it in. So again, take your Dremel, get in there and wangle that thing out. Give yourself some movement, because you're going to need it when you're trying to get this motor down into the body. It's just so tight, it just doesn't want to go. Now I have modified this so much now I can get it in here with a little wangling, and you still got to wangle it. And I would probably recommend Not putting the valve covers on either, to give yourself some more room to work with. Don't put those on until you've got the chassis in, the motor in, and everything's sitting in place, because it's just too doggone tight. But I think with all these little mods, you know, the motor sits right down in there nice. Now you can see I broke this entire chassis. It's broken in 1, 2, 3, 4 places. It also cracked back here near the motor. So I got to repair all that, and maybe even, and it broke here as well. So maybe even put in some reinforcement. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. It's all pretty much hidden once you get the body on it anyway. So that's no big deal. But, you know, the 3D printed stuff is just really brittle. There's just not a lot of flexibility to it. And I mean, I've been very careful with this. This was actually, it had, some of it was broken when I got it, and it was no big deal. I used CA and put it back together, but again, it's broken multiple times again. So, but that's just kind of something we've all kind of found out after working with the 3D printed stuff this last year or so. I've done a lot of these prints, and that's just something you find out. And I've also got the 1/24 scale. So you can see the difference in these two. 1/16, 1/24. I love the 1/16. I love the larger scale stuff. I like working with this, and it's really, really nice. Really, really nice. And it comes with, you got a nice driver figure. His butt's going to have to be modified too to get him down in there, and I haven't started on him on that modification yet, but my buddy Chuck was telling me he's going to have some stuff ground off of his arms, and you can see, I mean, I just shot another piece off of there. I have no idea what that was. It just shot off of it. Oh, that was the back of the roll bar. It just broke off. So you can see the issues with this stuff. Because I barely touched that. I think I'd broken that before. So anyway, yeah, he's really, really tight. So it looks like I'm going to have to go in and probably shave down the size of his arms. Actually, I think I already did that, but it's going to have to go some more. Either that or the inside of the seat. But I think it'd probably just be easier just to do the driver figure to get him down on there. Get his butt down in that seat over top of the pumpkin there. So anyway, that's what you're looking at, and I think you can expect this for most of these prints, but it's okay. I mean, I'm just thrilled as hell that we actually have this thing. This is something I think so many of us have wanted for so long, and we've seen some good scratch builds from some of the better modelers like Tommy Moore and some of those guys, but I'm happy to get this because I'm not that great of a scratch builder. So anyway, that's my update. That's what I want to tell you, and I'll have some more updates on some other stuff. I'm almost finished with my other 3D print diorama. It's almost done. I'm 95% there. Got to paint the mom figure, and that one will be pretty much done. So I'll keep you updated. I'll probably have another post later this week. But in the meantime, keep building. I will see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.